My name is Stephanie Dobrowski. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Rising. I am originally from Canada. I moved to Sierra Leone 12 years ago to help start up Rising and really build the organization from the ground up. I think the relationship building with funders, both new and kind of existing, is so important and is just an ongoing process. I think that's one that I have had to really learn over time. I think as someone who tends to really orient themselves to the work and really focus on the implementation, it can be really difficult to sort of lift your head and prioritize the investment in the relationships that exist sort of around the work. I think with existing funders, it's really been over time, I think, building trust through transparency. I think funders know that work is messy, and if you're kind of trying to present a picture of everything is great and everything is working really well, that just doesn't really, that doesn't really check out. So I think we try as best as possible to be, transparent about what's also not working, what are our challenges. I think we found funders can also be great thought partners. That's not always what comes to mind for people, but we've had some great funders. We've been working with Prevail Fund now for a few years. They bring additional kind of capacity strengthening through their team so they can help us even when we've been thinking about some recruitment. They've supported on that. So how can you also kind of lean on existing funders? And I think just, again, kind of recognizing that they are also looking to better understand the work that you do, what's working, what's not, how can they be helpful, and they need to gain that confidence in you. And I think for myself, sort of seeing beyond what is just the official reporting. So, I would say previously it was very, what's the report, when's it due, get that done. But really, what are the conversations you're having? How can you, even between reporting periods, share some pictures, share some stories, give them a sense for the work that's happening? And because that's also what they're there for. They want to see that their investment is also generating real impact. When it comes to new funders, I think it does feel quite different depending on what stage in your organizational journey you're at. I think it is much harder when you're first starting out and you just don't really have as much of a track record. I think for us, really having invested early on in the kind of evaluation of our programs, whether we commissioned evaluators ourselves or we're in these multi-provider programs, so that there was evidence to speak to the results that wasn't just us saying we have great work. I think we try to really bring in references. So we have asked existing funders to provide references for us to new funders. They've really stepped up for us and done very kind of helpful work around this is what they like about Rising, this is how we work. So having references from existing funders, from government partners is key. We've had references from within ministries, from ministers, from mayors. I think the people who are ultimately that you are partnering with and who are experiencing your work, how you work with them, what you've developed, bringing through their voices so that you're not trying to kind of sell yourself. It's the people who have the experience of working with you that can speak to what that's like. So I think we've really seen the value of sort of drawing on these different groups of individuals to also, make that sort of case for us to new funders.
My name is Ali Hussein. I am the head of impact and grants at Jackfruit Network. At Jackfruit Network, it leverages different other entities, including Jackfruit Finance, which does the lending to schools. We have Jackfruit Foundation, which improves education outcomes in these schools. And we have Jackfruit Hub, which is a marketplace for innovators and school directors to be able to tap into this kind of innovation within the environment of a school. When we have received funding from an investor, we first align on the key reporting metrics so that we are able to understand the requirements from the funder side, and also we are able to see how we will capture those kind of data points periodically. We do capture this kind of data points and report to them on a quarterly basis, whereby an investor is able to see the progress of the investment in schools and how a school has moved from one level to another one to improve such education outcome within a school. Now, also in addition to that, we periodically offer an opportunity to the funders to come to the schools to see the transformation which has been undertaken in a school. And then as a result of that, a funder will be able to provide more access to capital to lend to these schools, or even like create a different other pool for us to be able to lend to other kind of niche environment.